cannot easily print money. If you print money, you have what? Hyperinflation, like Zimbabwe. So what the CBN was doing then was that I would just be taking money anyhow from the banks, and it was just giving the what? The federal government. So what he was doing, after a while, when the bank realized that, look, even if I meet the LDR, you will still penalize me by debiting me. Why am I bothering myself meeting the LDR? That's why I said, now that the CBN is saying that I will only penalize you, I will only debit you for CRR for two things. One, if you have incremental deposits, and two, if you don't miss the LDR. So as a bank that don't want that penalty from not meeting the LDR, what will you do? You will grow your loan book because you don't even have a choice. As a matter of fact, you notice that Governor Shonubi, he mentioned then that they are going to stop discretionary CRR. And when we're even, and government Cardoso also continue in that state. And when you talk to banks, they will tell you that the banks that are still having debits by now, although it wasn't official, were those that didn't meet the LDR. Those that met the LDR, even when they are discretionary debits, the amount is just small. You can even still live with it. So that has actually been the practice. And that's why you notice that even this discussion that we had with the bank was before this circular came out. So the bank are realizing that, look, if I don't meet LDR, they will debit me. And that's the only reason why we have excess CRR. Why wouldn't I actually grow the loan book? And that's why this government should realize that there are some things that you use policy to drive behavior. You don't just penalize people. When somebody knows that, look, if I do this, I will get this, I will actually even do that. So I agree. To answer your question in summary, I believe that there will be a significant loan growth because you want to meet that LDR so that you won't get that penalty. My friend was asking about the interest rate. I said that interest rates will grow up. When I say interest rate will go up, that means that the interest rate in the environment will actually go up, meaning that interest rate on loans, on deposits, on government securities, everything will go up. And why do I think so? Let's think about it. What determines the interest rate in the environment? Primarily is MPR. Because MPR is the rate in which the CBN interacts with everybody in the economy. So that means that if the CBN is increasing MPR, the implication is that the CBN believes that rates should go up. So even me that I'm lending to somebody else, I realize that, look, me to CBN say that rates should go up. They have more information about the economy more than me. I should actually what? Increase rates. Now, another thing that people use to determine the rates is that the rates on government securities. Because you know that what they say is that government is risk-free. Although Ghana has actually shown us that government is not risk-free. Because government can default on its own obligation. That's what we saw from Ghana. But if you say that government has the lowest risk in the economy, so what some people do is that they price of that. So if government that has the lowest risk, when it lends or when it transacts, is doing it at what? A higher interest rate. So even me self that I'm relating with you, I should also charge what? A higher interest rate. So what you see is that when there is increase in the auction rate of government securities, and when there is increase in the MPR, you notice that interest rate of almost all transactions in the economy, we do what? We go up. So even if we don't have MPC, if the next auction, rates also go up, everybody just say that. That means that rates you actually go what? Increase. Depositors, when they are taking money to the bank, they will ask for what? Higher rates. So that's why, to realize that it's not only the rate on even government, rates on almost everything will go up. But like I mentioned earlier, the bank will also look at the ability of the customers to repay. Because the customers have lower purchasing power, you notice that they will not be able to increase it in the proportionate manner, which will affect their NIS. Now, the second question about on the risk of recession. I don't think so. Because, okay, now let's think about it. What's a recession? In layman terms, it just means that the economy activities reducing in the economy. And like I mentioned, to ensure that we have lower inflation, we are going to increase rates, which will reduce economic activity, right? However, I mentioned to you also that although the CBN wants to reduce rates, unlike what will happen in Ghana, the banks stopped lending last year, there are also some incentive for banks to actually even lend. And I've told you, no matter what the monetary policy guys are doing, President Tinubu will still spend money. So to answer your question directly, I will say that the risk of recession in this year is very, very low. Worst case scenario, economic growth, we are going to be muted and small. But I don't think we're going to go into recession this year.